This year marks the 20th anniversary of Cars. I should have done this video a lot sooner, and I actually planned to, but life gets in the way. And yeah, now the video got delayed, but I'm doing it now. So better late than never. All I really want to do in this video is just talk about my love of Cars, the Disney franchise. I can tell you right now, without any sort of shame, I love Cars. Cars is great. I fucking adore this. This was my one of my favorite things in the world when I was a kid. It's not hard to see why, because this is back when Disney used to be very good at having both a girl brand and a boy brand. You know, yes, Disney has always been more girly, but they did a good job of having things for boys to like, you know, like stuff like Aladdin. Incredibles is pretty boy-centered because of its superhero setting. You know, yeah, stuff like Monsters Inc., which was pretty much for everyone, you know. But then there was like other shows that they had on like Disney Channel, Disney XD, that definitely had a bit more of like a boy lean to it. Like you had stuff like Kickin' It or Lab Rats. You had cartoons like Kick Buttowski. They had a bit more of a boy feel to it. So they were able to still make their Disney princess movies and yet have other things that still catered to boys. So they had both. Right, they had both the demos that they needed. And Cars was very much a boys IP. That was very much, you can tell, this was for the boys. And that's why it worked for me. Because as a young boy, I went, ooh, talking car went vroom. Hell yeah, I want that. So I will never forget. So Cars came out in 2006, right? I was 3 at the time. Well, 3 or 2. Actually, no, because it was June. So I would have been 2 years old at the time of Cars 1. So I was still 2 years old. I was gonna turn 3 that year. Jeez, man. Like, oh, man. So I barely... Because, you know, like, it takes forever for you to realize, you know, how old you are. And, you know, you get to a certain point, then your brain starts actually working. You start retaining knowledge that you digest and your memories start to stay with you. I have no memory of this, but I mean, I wouldn't say no memory. I have a brief, like, little glimpse memory of me sitting in a stroller watching Cars in the movie theater. And, according to my parents, it's all I could talk about for, like, every goddamn day. I saw the trailer, the OG Cars trailer, which is just McQueen and Mater driving down the road, right? I saw that OG trailer, and I was hooked. I was hooked. That was it. I was in. I had to do it. I had to go watch this movie. And I would rewatch that trailer over and over and over and over again. I made my parents buy Lightning McQueen merch out the wazoo. I had McQueen blankets, McQueen pillows. I had t-shirts, pants. I had McQueen pajamas that were like a race car. Like, they were like, it was like you're a race car driver. That was sweet. And then the Cars movie came out. I have a McQueen hat too. And then the movie came out. And my parents, as they tell me, they're like, as a kid, you never shut the fuck up. Which, you know what, still, that's why I'm here on YouTube, because I don't shut up. But they went, you watched that movie, and you were silent the whole time. You were transfixed on that screen watching that movie, and it was like, they were like, it shocked them. They're like, you've never been this quiet before, and you were just staring at that screen, no, like, a smile on your face the whole time. I made them stay till the credits ended. We were the last people in the movie theater. I apparently made them stay until the credits ended, and I, like, even though the credits are rolling, I'm like, no, we can't leave. And then once the screen went full black, I went, okay, we can go now. Like, my god, man, I was really... And then the toys. Oh my god, the amount of Cars toys I have is insane. I have duplicates of stuff. And I have the metal ones, too. Like, the OG metal car. Like, if you hit someone with this, you could fucking hurt them. I used to play with those things every day. Practically every day. I used to make World Cup races with them, you know, with all the cars I had. I made sure to get a bunch of like the racers, right? Like the actual well, they're not NASCAR, but you know that it's meant to be NASCAR. But I used to get a bunch of those guys and would play with the toys. I used to create my own stories with cars, you know, because of course you do. You know, I've always been creating stories in my own my own head, for myself, and that continued with cars. That's what I did. I got a Cars set. I remember this was in the first house I ever knew. I got myself a car. Well, no, I didn't get myself. My parents got it for my birthday. A Cars. It was the Grand Prix from the end of the movie. It was a set of that. And if I can take a picture of it, I'll blast it on you. It's not. It's like in a box now. But like I would play with that all the time, and it's amazing. Now it's fucking loud, so my parents were like, "You can't play with this, you know, every day." What I used to do is I still used to play on it, but I just wouldn't turn, because it had like the thing where it's like when you're at like the starting line, you put the car and it just zooms the car forward, right? Couldn't do that with every day, but I could at least still play with the set every day. It was so fun. Oh man, the memories I used to have playing with that. And Cars was on practically all the time in our house. You know, Cars was like on all the time. I know that movie practically by heart. I used to make my parents listen to the soundtrack of Cars. So Real Gone is like a song that my parents know by heart because I would force them to play it every day when we were in the car. And then plenty of the other songs I used to do as well. What this is how bad it got, man. Oh my god. This is how obsessed with Cars I was. If my parents wanted to play another song because they were tired of hearing the Cars soundtrack for the 15th time in a row, they would lie to me and say, "Oh, a character from Cars is singing the song." And that's how they would get me to like listen to other songs. It's very funny. I think that's funny. I also think it's kind of cute. I don't feel any shame to it because I was a little kid, you know? I was a little kid who loved it. I used to get Cars books too. So like I used to read a lot of the Disney books that they used to put out, which was like about cars. Like there's one that literally describes how Doc became Doc Hudson, like him leaving, traveling to Radiator Springs, breaking down, then becoming the doctor there. Like I have a book that details that whole thing. It's crazy. I got a bunch of them. I got a bunch of those Disney storybooks, and I pretty much got them just for Cars. And then there was the video games. Okay. I got into video games actually for my health. I had crappy eyesight as a kid, really bad eyesight as a kid, and the doctor said to my parents to like help his eyes, because his eyes are almost shot to hell, he should play something like video games, because the movement will help his eyes, and it did. Now I'm stuck playing them and I don't need them anymore, but I just play video games now because, you know, that's just who I am. And Cars, of course, had video games. Of course it did. So the big one was the very first one, was just Cars, the video game, which I know a lot of people have said this, and I'm gonna make a video on it. That should have been what Cars 2 was. It is the definitive follow-up to Cars. It has McQueen on the next racing season, and it's just him and Chick Hicks. They're now number 1 and number 2 fighting for that spot. And you do the Radiator Springs Grand Prix, where Chick comes to Radiator Springs. You have all the other stories that go in it, like they have like little side stories, but you know, they all come together to make one big thing. It's real fun. The Cars video game is awesome. I used to love just driving around Radiator Springs. I would play like, you know, like the actual stadium races. There's the mini games, which has, you know, the Mater tractor tipping. There's the one where you're sheriff and you have to hunt down people running around Radiator Springs. There's the Lightning McQueen one where you have to chase down the delinquents on a highway. There's the delinquent one where you have to get to Mac and, you know, force him to lose his stuff. There's so much for that game. That game is so much fun. I genuinely believe Cars, the video game, is like a phenomenal video game. It's not just nostalgia talking. It's a good game. They had even the voice cast from the movie is there. Owen Wilson, Michael Keaton is in there as Chick Hicks too. Like, they're all there. They are all in that game. That is great. I miss that era where like they were contractually obligated to make a movie and like, okay, you have to do the voice for the video game. I do miss that era where like every movie got a video game. I do think it is. I do kind of miss that at times. Licensed video game. You know, they have a charm because they can do something like that, which takes place after Cars, and it is great, really fun. You know, you had all the paint job. I used to love buying the paint jobs in that game. Oh my god. And like then I learned like the cheat codes to use, and you can unlock everything. You can unlock unlimited boost and all that. Like, so I liked that. That was fun. I beat the game when I was like, oh man, how old was I? I was in elementary school. I think it was in grade 7 when I fully beat the game, because I had played it like my whole childhood then, and then in grade 7 I finally beat it. And that was a big moment, you know, like, oh my god, I finally beat this game. You know, they used to play it all the time. I used to play it on my PS2. That's where I used to play that. And, great game. Honestly, I love it. I'll make a more video about that game later, but that was a lot of fun. And then I played Cars Race-O-Rama on my PSP. So there's 2 versions of Cars Race-O-Rama. There's the PSP, like, portable version, and then there is the console version. I played the PSP version first. So that one is very different to the console version because there's only 4 racers allowed. The tracks are different. Like, it is practically a different game, though it follows the same story, but gameplay is different. I would argue that Cars Race-O-Rama on PS... Now, obviously, the console version is way better in terms of graphics, in terms of mini games, in terms of the fact that it actually has a free roam hub, multiple free roam hubs you can go around. You can customize McQueen however you want with, like, you know, you can give him fins, his wheels, like, all that is way better. But one thing I think the PSP game does better is the boss races. So in the console version, it's like you have to have like 12 people in a race or something. So it will be you versus whatever the boss character is and like a bunch of filler guys. In the PSP version, it is just a 1v1, which I think is a lot better. But yeah, man, I do like Cars Race-O-Rama, the PSP version I played. I have played the console version since, and yes, again, like I said, it is better. But I think that game is great. Then there is Cars Mater National, which is kind of like a sequel to the OG Cars, the video game. It kind of operates on like the same engine. So essentially, it's like there's an international racing Grand Prix happening at Radiator Springs, and you just meet a bunch of these racers from different countries. You meet one from Britain, you meet one from Germany, one from Tokyo, one from Germany, like one from Italy, like all that. You meet like all these international racers throughout the story. And then you race in the big racing Grand Prix, and there's a lot of fun in it. There is a lot of fun. I don't think I ever beat Mater National, though. I think I kind of gave up on it. Not because it's bad, but I think I got distracted. Like, I was starting to grow up more. You know, you get into other things, and Mater National sadly fell to the wayside. I will, now that I'm, you know, I might go back and finish that game now, you know? I might get in a Cars kick and just go back and finish that game. But yeah, Mater National was a lot of fun. I used to spend hours watching videos on YouTube of Mater National playthroughs. That I used to do a lot. Not so much Cars the video game, because I was pretty good at it, and like, it's the thing where it's like, yeah, I beat it, you know, I'm pretty good at it, or, you know, but Mater National, I remember as a kid, I used to watch a lot of gameplay of that game, like go through the story and all that, so I know the story, I know how it ends and everything, I just haven't gotten there myself yet. And then, there was Cars 2, the video game, so we can talk about Cars 2 now. So I was very excited for Cars 2. Oh, before we get to Cars 2, no. There is the Mater Tall Tales Cars Tunes. So these were little shorts that were put together, and it's just Mater telling some, you know, fabricated, out-of-this-world story where he's the main character, and then, like, halfway through the story, McQueen goes, that didn't happen, and Mater goes, what do you mean? You were there too, buddy! And then McQueen's suddenly inserted there. And it was really good because it allowed, well, first off, they were fun, and it allowed them to create different variants of McQueen and Mater that they could then make into toys, which you damn well bet I got my parents to buy for me. There was a wrestling one, and I kid you not, I got a Monster Truck McQueen and a Monster Truck Mater with a fucking wrestling ring. I had that toy. That's fucking amazing. So used to do, and like, and it's a wrestling ring, dude. Like, it's got real rope and everything. It's fucking crazy. So those were fun. I used to watch those with my dad late at night, because that's kind of when, like, they would drop. And he would tell me, you can watch 2 and then go to bed. And he would watch 2 with me, and then I go to bed. And then the next day, I watch the other 2. Like that. There was a compilation DVD, which I own, which has them. So, I used to watch that a lot too. But yeah, those were fun. Anyway, there was a Mater Tall Tales video game, I think, for computer, for the PC. Never played it, but I remember used to watch videos on it. Then there was Cars 2. So Cars 2, really excited about. I remember the first trailer was McQueen and Mater surrounded by lasers and all this shit. And I was like, oh my god, Cars 2. I watched the trailers all the time. Oh my god, it was crazy. At this point, I think it came out the end of grade 2. So I was going into the summer of grade 2 for Cars 2. And as a kid, I fucking loved it. You know, I'm like, oh my god, I finally get Cars 2. I went to see it in theaters. It was great. I had fun. Watched it a bunch when you got it on DVD and Blu-ray. As you get older, you realize that movie's not fucking good. It's really not, you know, and I understand when my younger self loved it. But even as a kid, I was like, why is Mater the main character, not McQueen? Well, it's because, you know, they kept doing the Mater Tall Tales. They were selling merch with Mater. So like, oh, we'll make him the main character. No. And McQueen was a side character in that fucking movie, which he shouldn't have been. And I don't like how McQueen is portrayed in that movie either. Like, yelling at Mater and all this shit. Like, nah. I thought the idea was good of just the Grand Prix and, like, you know, all those racers and all that. If that was the movie, just with McQueen as the main character and the whole movie's the Grand Prix, would have been way better. Instead, we get this weird spy shit with Finn McMissile and Holly, whatever her name is, Sitwell or whatever the fuck. Weird as shit. But the video game was fun. The video game was a lot of fun. So again, I did the thing where I played the PSP version and then I played the console after. The PSP version is way inferior. The console version is way better. So the console version, you get these, like, the racing in the console version is fucking great. So you get all these, like, you know, normal races, like your usual standard races, but they Mario Kart it by giving you weapons, like, because, you know, in the Cars movie, they have guns and missiles now, so they just do that in the race. You get guns and missiles, and you get, like, tractor beams and magnets and all that stuff. They just Mario Partied it. It was real fun. It was a lot of fun. There was, it was fun unlocking the cars, the racers for it. Cars 2, the video game, way better than the fucking movie. That's for damn sure. I had a way better time with the video game than I did the movie. But yeah, I don't blame my younger self for liking Cars 2. But he was a stupid kid in 2nd grade who didn't know any better. Now I look at it and I'm like, Cars 2 is not good. It's not. And then we have Cars 3. So Cars 3, I remember watching the trailer. I was in high school at this point. I was in grade 8. I remember watching the trailer. It's the OG trailer with McQueen crashing. And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing? Right? And then, like, I remember, who remembers? This was on the internet. It was a leaked scene of McQueen's crash, and they had, like, some fucking NCS non-copyright music playing. And that music is awesome, by the way. The music they played for that, fucking awesome. I now have that song on my Spotify. But I remember watching that, and it was crazy. And then the trailers dropped, and I was like, okay, excited to see Cars 3. Went to see it in theaters, thought it was average as fuck. Yeah, even then, I was like, yeah, I guess. I mean, like, parts of the movie, I'm like, no, this is good. You know? I thought they were finally going to reveal how Doc died, which apparently they were going to, and then they cut that. I think my biggest grievance with Cars 3, I'd probably like Cars 3 more if the ending was better. And you know what I'm talking about. It's McQueen cops out the race at the last, like, halfway through, and he puts Cruz Ramirez in. That shit fucking pissed me the fuck off. I hated that shit. Even in the theater, I was like, fuck. That is dumb as shit. And then you see what the original ending was, which was McQueen was going to dress up as the Fabulous Lightning McQueen for Dynaco, and he was going to win the race. That shit would have been way better. Imagine, at the end, Cruz sacrifices herself to keep Jackson Storm at bay and tells McQueen, go, win the race. He wins the race, and then you can do this. I don't have a problem with him being her mentor after. That's fine. That's not my problem. My problem is that McQueen should have won the race, because McQueen has not won a fucking race in these movies. He didn't win the final one in Cars 1. Cars 2, the race fucking got ended because Mater fucking had a missile strapped to his fucking back or some shit. Oh no, he had a fucking bomb in him. And then we don't see how that finishes. And then Cars 3, McQueen doesn't fucking finish the race. He never wins a race in these movies. So I hated that. I hated the ending of Cars 3. And I was like, I don't want a fucking another one. They did do that Cars on the Road mini series on Disney Plus. I thought that was fine. I did reviews on them, I think, on my channel. My second channel. I thought they were fine. Whatever. It's post Cars 3. They don't mention Cruise, which is what I give a shit about. They're fine, whatever. You know, just like, yeah, whatever. Sure. But yeah, I love Cars. I think my memories for, like, the best memories for Cars is the OG era. Right, that 2006 before Cars 2 came out, where you have all those cool video games. I had all the cars in the fucking world. Yeah, it was great. And even Cars 2, even though I still bought the cars for it. You know, I still have Finn McMissile, I still have Holly, whatever her name is. I have Rod Torque Redline, which was Bruce Campbell's character, who died in the movie. Yeah, I have them. I have a lot of from Cars 2 cars as well. So yeah, and I have different ones too. Like I got like the little tiny cars. I got like little squishy ones you would get in like a pachinko machine and shit. Like my Cars love is like insurmountable. It is my favorite Disney franchise. I will tell you that. Even to this day. To this day, Cars still holds my heart. You know, I will fucking put that movie on if I ever need to and just be like, fuck yeah, baby, this is my shit. Because McQueen was everything I wanted as a kid. He was the guy who started as a jerk, and then he taught you humility as a kid. Don't be full of yourself. Don't try and do everything by yourself. Open up to people and be nicer. And when you are nicer to people, you will be rewarded. Right? And then, you know what, to help it, at the end of the day, how'd the movie end? The way every movie fucking should. The guy got the girl at the end. You're fucking damn right, baby. So that's Cars. That's my love for Cars. I just spent like 20-something minutes talking about how much I love Cars. But I love Cars. I do. I have no shame in my game. When future wife, whoever, goes like, well, what were you really into as a kid? Oh, I loved Cars. That'll be a date night movie. You get to watch Cars. You get to watch Mater and the Ghostlight too, which was like the little mini episode they put with the DVD. That shit was awesome. Man, I gotta get more Cars shirts too, because I've outgrown them all, so like they don't fit me anymore. I gotta get some adult Cars shirts. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some adult Cars shirts. Yeah. I stopped collecting the car. I didn't really collect any Cars toys for Cars 3 at that point because I just wasn't that big of a fan of the movie. I got Jackson Storm. I got the new McQueen. I always went for McQueen. I got the new McQueen. I got Jackson Storm. I got a couple of like the new NASCAR racers, and I got a Cruz Ramirez. And that's about it. I didn't get any sets or anything because I was not into it. And then, you know, looking back, I'm like, yeah, Cars 2 wasn't that good either. But yeah, that's it. That's Cars. Let me know, guys. What was your experience for Cars? I know a lot of people, some people don't like it, and that's fine. I don't care. I do. It's a fucking moneymaker for Pixar and Disney because, you know, boys wanted Cars, dude. It's so fucking simple. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you guys like Cars. If you don't, what's your experience with it? Let me know in the comments down below. See you guys all next time. Take care. Have a good one.